everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Loretta Macabre. Welcome my faithful subscribers, my new subscribers, and everybody else in between. And welcome to Scary Story Friday. Well, I'm going to tell you a story when I was about 12 years old. Okay, when I was about 12 years old, my mom was an avid seller at the flea market. And at the flea market that she used to sell, with the tables, you could have, they were like built-in sheds with each table that you would rent. And you could store your stuff in there or take your stuff home. My mom never used the shed. We just used it like for shade and to store empty boxes and stuff like that. So, there was a guy there that had a table with a shed, but he never sold anything. He would like come every now and then and go in his shed and do some stuff, and then he would leave. He was always real quiet, always to himself, and my mom and me, we would look at him and we're like, he's kind of strange, but maybe he just doesn't like interacting with people. So one day when I was selling with my mom went to go get us some food, and I stayed at the table. And he came by and he was looking at the table and stuff, and he started like, what's your name? And, like being friendly, which he never was before. And I don't know if he approached me because he saw that my mom wasn't there or what. And I was like real standoffish, because I've always been like a real cautious person even when I was little. And I really wouldn't answer any of his questions, so he just like drifted away, like walked away and went back to his little shed, and then he left in his little he used to drive a little white Ford truck. And anyway, so this went on for quite a while. He never approached me again or anything, and I told my mom that he had come to the table and talked to me, and she thought that was weird, and she warned me, don't interact with him, because he really doesn't talk to anybody. And she was kind of like, well, why was he talking to you? That is so strange. And I go, I know, I didn't get a good feeling, and I really wouldn't answer any of his questions. So he just like walked away, and my mom said that was good. So we would go every weekend. We went for a long time. My mom sold at the flea market for years and years, and he was there for years and years. I never saw him selling anything. So when my mom got older, we stopped selling at the flea market, and we would do like every now and then we do a yard sale, because we had a lot of stuff. And that's how we met people and stuff. And my mom was real good friends with the owner of the flea market. So one day we had a yard sale, and the guy that owned the flea market had come by to look at our stuff. He didn't know it was us that lived at this house. And he stopped by to look, and he recognized my mom, and they were like, oh, hugging and everything. And he said that why had she stopped going, and she goes, well, it was too tiring for her, and so we just started doing yard sales. And he was like, oh, that's good, and for us to go visit and stuff. And then he told my mom, did you ever hear the story, what happened to Charlie? And my mom's all, well, who's Charlie? And he goes, he's that guy that used to drive that white Ford truck that rented the shed and table from me, but he never sold stuff. And my mom goes, oh, yeah, I remember him. He was kind of strange, kind of quiet. And he goes, yeah, that's him. And I don't want to describe him too much because I don't know if he's still alive, if he's got family members or whatever. But anyway, he said that Charlie had taken off and he didn't pay his rent anymore or anything. And so they were forced to open his shed and get rid of his stuff or sell it to get the money back that he had missed, from that man not selling his stuff. And so when they opened his shed, he said they found like dishes. It was kind of like stuff, like he was like kind of living in the shed. He said he was probably like going in there after hours. But what was the weirdest thing is that when they started taking out stuff, it was just like household stuff. dishes and clothes and stuff like that. And they never heard from him again, but in a box they had found a human hand. And they found some rings and stuff like that, and they don't know where that human hand came from, what he was doing with it, if he had killed somebody. They didn't find out because they never knew where he went. Nobody knew anything about him. And to this day, I thank my guardian angel for giving me the sense not to talk to him or like to be lured away with him, because I don't know if it was a woman's hand or a man's hand. I was young at the time and I really didn't get all the details, but it's very, very scary on knowing that was like right next to us and knowing that he was probably a bad person. So yeah, this happened to me when I was about 12 years old, and I hope it never happens to me again. And it's just very, very creepy. So I hope you enjoyed this scary story. It's very unnerving. Always keep tabs on your children. Never let them go anywhere by themselves, or if they do, make sure they go with friends or adults. And just always be cautious of your surroundings is the main thing. And if you see somebody that just doesn't feel right to you, then go with your gut instinct. So that's my story, you guys. And I will see you next Friday. Love you guys. And remember, sleep with the lights on, 'cause you never know who or what followed you home. Good night. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel. This is Loretta Macabre. Welcome